Let's head to the UK now and catch up with British commentator and Sky News contributor Esther Kraku. Esther, thanks for joining me. Police have ruled that chance of death to the IDF during rapper Bob Vylan's Glastonbury performance did not meet the criminal threshold. It just calls into question, doesn't it, what constitutes hate speech in the UK?
Yes, it's incredible. I mean, you've seen instances of six police officers going to people's houses because of memes that they've posted online or things that they've said that are really quite above board, in my opinion. But you have to think, wow, we have six police officers to spare when the police in this country barely solve a burglary, and most constabularies have barely solved most burglaries over the last 5 years. But apparently shouting death to the IDF doesn't meet the criminal threshold, which would beg the question, what exactly is the criminal threshold? Because apparently literally chanting for death to a specific identifiable group of people, that's not too bad. And there's no evidence for it, even though it was blasted all over the BBC. But posting a meme online saying, oh, I don't know, if you come to this country, you have to integrate or speak English, that apparently is a form of hate speech. So it just shows that even the way that this legislation, which I completely disagree with, that allows police to target people for what they call hate speech, is a complete waste of time, and it's absolutely ridiculous. And people say, oh, you think people should be able to say whatever they want online? Actually, yeah. I think they should. I mean, there should be a very, 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 very high threshold for what constitutes direct danger to someone's life. But if you're going to arrest pensioners and school teachers and parents for memes or things that they say online with regards to sensitive topics, then ultimately you have to also apply that standard to literally someone shouting death to the IDF. I mean, I think that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah, I mean, you have people being arrested for saying things that the government doesn't like, but chance of death to the IDF just fly under the radar. Just the hypocrisy is astounding. Now, a goblin, Greta Thunberg, she's been arrested in London. Don't get your hopes up. She's been bailed. The climate narcissist was taken into custody after displaying a placard supporting the proscribed terror group Palestine Action during a protest backing jailed activists on a hunger strike. Esther, 15 people have been murdered here in Sydney and Bondi, and Greta is out supporting activists from a proscribed terror group on a hunger strike. Make that make sense.
Yes, Greta, I support the latest thing, Thunberg, the 4'11", 22-year-old truant who apparently doesn't see the need to find a job. She was out in London, parked on the street side, saying she supports the prisoners that are currently on hunger strike in support of Palestine Action being designated a terrorist group, even though they caused considerable damage and actually went to an RAF airbase, broke into an RAF airbase to cause damage. They've now been designated domestic terrorism. Apparently, that's nothing to write home about. So she has to support their actions. Look, this is someone who has got very far with the climate movement, even though she's a privileged 22-year-old a Westerner who has no idea how most of the world lives. And now suddenly she's become an expert on geopolitics and Middle Eastern politics more specifically. So now she's traipsing the streets of London and wasting police officers' time by putting up placards supporting Palestine Action, which in and of itself is also a criminal offense, because not only can you not be a part of Palestine Action Group, which is a terrorist organization in the UK, you also cannot support a terrorist organization which is in line with people blatantly supporting groups like Al Qaeda. Although somehow that doesn't apply to people supporting Hamas, as we've seen at many of the pro-Palestine marches over the last couple of years. Apparently, even though Hamas is also a designated terrorist group here in the UK, there seems to be a bit of blurred lines when you actually march the streets of our capital and support them and say things like globalize the Intifada. So again, we're seeing double standards all over the place. I would rather just Greta Thunberg be arrested in peace. Because this is the thing, this is the kinds of things that fuel her notoriety and her narcissism, her sitting on the streets of London like a homeless person, holding up placards, thinking she's actually doing something good for the world. I'd rather they just like arrested her in private with no one to watch, because then she'll be thinking, wow, I probably should get a job at some point.
Yeah, get a job. Otherwise, she just jumps from, one cause to another. First, it was climate activism. Now it's the pro-Palestine movement, and she hopped on that boat that sailed out to Gaza, that failed mission. You're right, get a job. I agree. Esther Kraku, thanks very much. Merry Christmas to you. Appreciate it.